Yeah, I'm here, guys. How are we doing?
Okay, good. I know Julie said she had to run. She's not here right now. So let's imagine that she's not here. So, Glenn, we got another, 30 minutes or so. Julie just dropped off. So she might be having some problems with some connectivity.
Peter,
go ahead.
Peter, if I could, that's what I would tell myself. But I'm glad that I went through this because I'm one of the very few people carrying forward this message of tool scams and retail sales. There's very few people out there focusing on those two big rocks. There's lots of other issues. I understand all the other issues. I live them. I experience them, but they are not what I would consider legal issues, and you're not going to get the FTC or the DOJ's attention talking about all this other stuff. And that's why I focus on these things, is because they are the legal issues, and everything else is just a distraction. Literally everything else is a distraction. So I'm glad I experienced this, because I really think that this is an important message that many, many more people need to hear. And I'm grateful, actually, because I'm going to have a very significant change in my life in the near future, and I'm going to be able to put a lot more time into this. And if I did not have that experience, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I have a mission, so to speak. A lot of people, when they have a different period of their life, maybe they, quit working, they retire, whatever, they have nothing to do, and they just wither away. And I actually have a mission, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm not thankful for getting scammed, but I'm thankful that I have a mission. So that's the second part of the question or the answer that I meant to communicate with Julie. But go ahead, Glenn, did you have something?
And she's gone. She hasn't come back, but she told us she wouldn't come back anyway. So because she has to go to work. And then not for anything, but I was thinking we would have a different radio show based on the stuff that you guys were talking about. So maybe Glenn, you can make sure she comes back, so we can have the radio show that I thought we were going to have relative. Now, I don't mind listening to Scott's story, because we heard some things we haven't heard before, which is really good to hear. But I'd love to have Julie come back, because she sounds like she could expand on a few of the things we spoke about. So back to you, Glenn.
Yeah, so for me, Scott's talking about this being his mission and his goal to expose this fully. To me, quite simply, if Scott's going to get this message out to a massive, massive audience, he's going to need to work with Marco, because Marco is the man with the big audience. I don't have a big audience. You guys don't have a big audience. Julie doesn't have a big audience. The way we're going to get this message out is with Marco. Marco, to me, is the key to this. And just listening to you guys then, you and Marco have so much in common. You both faced lawsuits from MLM companies. Marco, I understood your frustration in the beginning when I used to come onto this show, that we were both frustrated that Marco wasn't talking about Dexter Yeager and Bill Britt and the Amway tool scam. But Marco right now is very, very aware of just how damaging and important the Amway tool scam is. He made an outstanding video on his channel about Dexter Yeager. Dexter Yeager is the man that created everything. All these new MLM companies like Prime America, all they're doing really is parroting Dexter Yeager. In that masterpiece of a video that Marco made, which has been removed and Marco has been sued for, it opens up with, "Don't let anyone steal your dream." That's Dexter Yeager's number one saying. So, to me, the work that Scott's doing and the work that Marco is doing is very similar. And what you're coming up against is people who are regurgitating people like Dexter Yeager. So, yeah, I urge Scott to reconsider. I think you need to work with Marco so we can get your very, very important story to as many people as possible.
Well, Glenn, you bring that up often, and it's not going to happen. I've gone back and forth. I've gone back and forth with lots of people online, mostly on blogs, before the YouTube age, and I can guarantee you I have more staying power in saying I will never, ever work with Marco, ever, No. He was nasty towards both
Scott,
me.
What about
let me finish. Let me finish because you had a monologue. He was very nasty to me and to Peter, calling Peter at 1 a.m, pretending to be somebody else, and then saying, "No, this is Marco, and you're a whatever he called them." And that's just the nastiest thing. He's a cocaine dealer. A cocaine dealer. He's ruined people's lives by dealing drugs. He's talked about numerous times that he's ripped off companies. He said himself, "I'm a very good liar." He lies all the time. There was a recent show he did where he was asked by one of the commenters, "Well, what were you doing before you were doing the YouTube?" And he talked about all kinds of things. He talked about, I delivered pizzas. I worked at a casino. I did some sound engineering, putting together music or whatever. He never said, I was a cocaine dealer too. But if you go on Rumble and you go to the account Tex, T-E-X, all one word, you'll see Marco's own video where he brags about being a cocaine dealer and many other disgusting things, by the way. It's 2.5 hours long. I encourage everybody to look at it. In fact, I would encourage people to go to Rumble and just type in the words "always Marco," because there's several other videos up on that talks about how he's going to rip off the phone company after he calls Peter because he didn't realize it was long distance and it would cost him an arm and a leg, and he was broke, of course. And so the guy's just a nasty dude. I am never going to associate myself with him. He is not that big. I mean, he's so stupid. He got almost a million views on that one Primerica video, and then it's taken down because he went overboard because he's always stupid. And I am not gonna work with that. Period. Glenn, I am not gonna work with that. Period.
Yes, but Scott, it's just one thing. That video is still on YouTube, on multiple different YouTube channels. It's still
and
up
what
there.
What are the total views from all those channels?
Well, a few have got thousands. It's not as many as.